Marcus, what's preseason camp been like for your guys so far?
It's been good, man. What I love that these dudes playing with effort. You know, we're gonna continue to coach them up, but man, I love the effort that they give, and you can tell that they want to get better. It's a get better mindset every day, and that's what the standard is. That's what we challenging them to do. So overall, I think the dudes been doing what we asking them to do.
He had a pretty big spring. What's kind of the plan for his rotation?
Yeah. The main thing with him is just continuing to work. Especially in our room, it's still a work in progress. Just with the little things, with the little details. But man, that dude got a bright future in front of him.
Marcus, after your first season here, y'all didn't have much left.
Right.
Just talk, if you would, about the process of obviously rebuilding that group to a very talented group.
Yeah, just staying diligent in the relationship process. Just being authentic as possible, because that's where it starts with the relationships. Giving the guys a vision and making them believe in something, and then just putting it into place. So, man, I'm glad where the room at now. It's guys that's bought into the vision, and now we just gotta go earn everything that we do as far as putting it on the field.
Did you feel some urgency at that point to say, "Hey, we got to hit some big shots here"?
Well, just in the game of football is a simple game. If you do the little things good over and over, you're gonna get the results that you want. Football is a process-driven game. It's a game where guys get developed each and every day. And so if we continue to do the little things with the talent that those dudes have, if they play with the fundamentals, if they play with the techniques, I'm a firm believer that good stuff gonna happen for them.
With Cam and Perry and Malcolm and Bryce, what's the biggest difference you've seen from them from where they were this time last year?
Yeah, just a year or two in the playbook. It's just that simple. You could get it lined up a little quicker. You could be more confident in what's being asked to do. If you got a conversion on the route, you could do it faster. So, going into year two, it take away some of the thinking, and now you can see more of the physical abilities just in terms of what they could actually do in playing the game of football.
With Eric, there's not very many guys in the portal that have back-to-back 800-yard seasons. So, bringing him in, just what has that done for y'all in that room?
He's played a lot of football, man. He's an example of just getting other guys better because, man, some of the things that he put on film that he do naturally, you coach it is one thing to coach it, but it's another thing when guys actually doing it, and we getting that visual every day with what Eric is putting on film. So, man, it's great to have a guy that played a bunch of football because you can see that experience showing off with different looks or, different coverage disguises and all that.
Most of the guys that are coming back, who would you say is maybe the most improved, is taking the biggest step forward?
Man, that's like a double-edged question because all of them taking strides in their own way. If you think about Cam, he played a lot of football. He started for the entire season. So his strides that he's taking is different from the strides that Bryce is taking. Like right now, Bryce is doing well in all four phases of special teams, and so those strides, and you got to count those small victories because that's going to lead to more playing time and things like that. So, man, I'm pleased with all those guys from the mindset standpoint, and that's just two examples right there, but all of them individually got their own growth that they've been having.
Marcus, when you go recruit these guys, what did you tell them about why they should come to Auburn?
Man, I just try to build like the most authentic relationship and leave it up to the individual to make the decision. But I believe in just if you consistent with them, if you persistent with them, and they know that you're a real guy, you're not just recruiting, but you're really trying to get to know them, and you talking football with them too, and it's just you getting to know their family. I just think it's a whole umbrella of things, and now it's easier to coach them when you need to coach them all once they're here.
You came here, you were recruited here by a pretty good recruiter.
Yep.
Did you learn from him?
Yeah, and I just, more so, I think Coach did a really good job, but it's more so of who I am too. with any relationship that I have with anybody, I think whether it's recruiting, whether it's with coworkers, man, I just try to be as authentic as possible, man, and work hard and be diligent at all those things. But I definitely could give Coach Craig some credit because I love what his approach was to me, and it's helpful to my process too.
When we watch Horatio in practice, I've noticed like if it's not his turn in a drill, he's still doing something kind of off to the side. Has it just been that way since he's gotten here?
Yeah, and I kind of talked about Eric, and that's the same way Horatio is in his own right. He's a doer. He tried to do the little things better. He tried to do the little things to separate himself. And that's also good for the guys to see, because now when a young guy not up, they think they should be doing what he's doing, And so all those dudes just got to get better mindset. And, man, I appreciate it because it make it easy to come and work with them. If you had a bunch of guys that one locked in or bought into the message, it don't matter. But those guys want to get better and do the little things.
I know it's early for them, but Duke and Eric, how they kind of fit into the room.
Yeah, man. I love that those guys in the room. They gonna continue to work. Now they in that phase where they learning everything, whether it's a playbook, whether it's fundamentals and techniques, but they'll be just fine. Duke, he didn't show flashes already, but it's just a continual work in progress. Continue to learn the playbook, continue to learn the route adjustments and all of that, and I think he'll be just fine.
Marcus, how did your guys perform in scrimmage, and how do you think the offense did overall Friday?
Man, I think it was a solid first scrimmage. The guys are doing what they ask. When you in camp, the main thing I'm looking for is attitude and effort, and I think those guys showed up with that. As you continue to coach and as you continue to get more in and you install, you're going to clean up the details as far as that goes. But the dudes are doing what you ask as far as playing hard, flying to the ball, flying around, and this plays that's being made as well. So
I have to ask you about one guy on the other side of the ball that I know every time I step out there, Jay Crawford. What's he been like going against your guys?
And I'm glad Jay Crawford on our team. And you seen it as a freshman last year, but I could tell it's year 2 for that dude. I think the world of him. He's a really good player, and he a testament of why the receivers getting better. Because none ain't given. We got to work for everything. And Jay Crawford, Kaylee, all those guys, man, they challenging us, and it's helping. But Jay Crawford been solid this camp.
Coach, during the spring, we actually has anybody stepped up to that leadership role like what DeAndre was last year? Now in fall camp, have you seen that guy yet?
Yeah, man, it's so interesting, and that's probably one of the funnest parts for me is just learning the room, learning exactly what you got. And it's a couple guys that all lead in different ways. Like Cam ain't gonna say much, but he gonna do exactly what you tell him to do. And other guys see that. And shoot, he the one who happen to make plays, right? So he a natural leader in his own right by a doer. And then you got guys like Horatio that, man, if you give him a message, the message is gonna be exactly what it need to be once he talking to his peers. So, different guys stepping up in their own ways. Like, shoot, Malcolm Simmons, that joker, when he on the field, he 100% every play. So he leading his own way. You ain't got to question anything that he doing. So, man, just as a whole room, man, those guys playing their part and doing their part to take the next step.
The other day we talked to Perry about you and Freeze getting after him at practice the other day, and you seem to talk about the standard for him. Have you seen him how to really kind of take on that a little bit more, knowing he's got to step it up?
Yeah, and it comes from being in year 2, so you know what the standard, what the expectation is, and if you ain't doing it, you're gonna get held to that, man. And man, I always tell the guys to be coaches, to be loved. If the head coach ripping you, and if your receiver coach is on you, that's a good thing, man. But what you get coached off of, your attitude and effort. If you mess up, that's fine, but make sure we have the right attitude and effort. And the best thing about that, he responded, and that's what I care about. How you gonna respond to adversity or a challenge? And we try to put you in those situations to see the response, because we're gonna have to respond on game days when stuff probably ain't going the best. So how you gonna respond is the biggest thing, and I think he responded.
What's been Malcolm Simmons' attitude throughout the camp with everything else going on?
Man, Malcolm Simmons, man, he's just a hard worker. Just doing the little things, doing what we asking him to do, and all of that. So I can't ask for more from him when he's in the building and doing what he's supposed to do.
Marcus, we got to see Cameron get a scholarship. How special was that moment, and what has he kind of done to deserve that?
Man, that was pretty cool for him, man, and that was earned. You know, he worked hard. He been working since he been here, and that's another guy, man, that made real improvement as the time that he's been here. You know, and so that's truly earned. And he never looked like he didn't deserve what he got, just as far as how he take care of his business every day.